PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has got the games industry in a bit of a frenzy. It's one of the biggest games around right now, and you should know that because we keep talking about it. It's now so big that other games in the industry decided to start ripping it off.
Epic Games, best known for making Gears of War, Unreal Tournament and Bulletstorm, has announced that their free-to-play but not actually free just yet game Fortnite will be getting a new game mode. Probably won't surprise you to hear that the new game mode is heavily inspired by PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Heavily inspired. The mode is imaginatively called Battle Royale, and much like Battlegrounds, it has 100 players parachute onto one giant map with the goal of being the last player standing. It really is very reminiscent of PlayerUnknown's game, even down to the way the map closes in over time and the little counter thing when you heal up. No, honestly, look at that thing. That is exactly the same. It's basically an exact parody of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. However, unlike Battlegrounds, players will be able to craft defensive structures, traps and more, just like they can in the regular Fortnite game, except resources are pretty limited.
Epic Games weren't shy about sharing their inspirations for this new mode. In a post on the Fortnite website, creative director Donald Mustard, straight out of the board game Cluedo,
Real name?
said, "We love Battle Royale games like PUBG and thought Fortnite would make a great foundation for our own version. Thought we should rip it off," he thought. Colonel Mustard in the boardroom with a pen and paper. A few minutes ago, Epic's Unreal Tournament team began experimenting with the mode, while the original Fortnite team kept updating the core game. The new Battle Royale mode was so much fun, we decided to share it with everyone to get feedback. Fortnite's Battle Royale mode is live right now for testing, but Epic Games warn it is still in the testing phase and the servers might crash and bug out. No shit, because we've played it. According to Epic Games, Fortnite currently has over 1 million players, which is pretty vague, but that's all we've got. So maybe they're hoping a Battle Royale mode might bring in even more.
So you've just dabbled in it a little bit. Very first impressions, kind of early impressions. On the surface, at least, this thing is like exactly the same. It's like a parody.
As soon as you look at it, it looks exactly the same.
Like all the little details, the way the map is presented, and everything that kind of happens in the first 5 minutes of the game is basically exactly what happens in Battlegrounds, except you can like chop trees and whatnot. It's a very different game because it's all colourful and bright and stuff, and that's going to be like really important to the game's appeal, isn't it? Because it's like a cheerier type of version to the pretty bleak setting in Battleground.
For some people, it's like too tense. Like that's the first thing you notice. You jump down, and it's so tense. But you can't get tense with these type of graphics. It's light and it's like fun above anything else. It's not stressful in the way that Battlegrounds is. So you can see there's been a lot of fun for the more casual gamer, or for people who just don't like having to deal with all those like negative emotions.
I think it's a genius move on their part. Yes, it's a flat-out rip-off, but it's still a really clever move. Speaking personally here, I've kind of run out of steam a little bit with Battlegrounds, and I did not like Fortnite when I played that at all. However, this looks really appealing still to me. The things I didn't like about Fortnite, like specifically about the HUD and the UI, and just how busy and cluttered that was in the base Fortnite game, well, it's all kind of been stripped back a lot in this. And it's got all the things I like about Battlegrounds in it. So I'm definitely going to be, spending some time with this to see if I actually enjoy this. There's no squad mode yet, is there? Like you've got in Battlegrounds, you can't squad up. However, imagine that in the future. Like you could just build up a nice little fort on a hill somewhere, and that's going to be a big decision as well. Like where in the map do you do that? Because the zone is closing in.
And you can imagine with the squad, like running to a zone, one guy like putting up defensive barriers as you go in just to cover the squad. It like adds a whole new ingredient into the mix, essentially. The other good thing about it is it's not like the original Fortnite game where your character progress is saved. You're jumping into a fresh new game every time, which is essentially what I love about Battlegrounds. Is like you're not pitted against people who've already gained lots of levels, and everyone's on the same level, and you just jump in, have fun for half an hour, and then jump out.
However, Fortnite is still a microtransaction game about microtransactions that happens to have some shooting and building in it. And that's still a big problem for the base game for me, because it is a free-to-play game, technically, but you still have to pay 32 quid at the very minimum to get into it at this point, which is not free, is it? That's money that you're giving them there. So this is not an answer to all the problems. I think they've still got a lot of things to address, but it certainly does add like a whole other spectrum of appeal to the game. It's a totally different experience that they've added in there now, and it is a rip-off. Like we said, it's a complete like parody, flat out, just yanking things out of Battlegrounds and saying, yeah, we'll have that, we'll have that, we'll have that. It's just Battlegrounds in Fortnite. But it is a positive step, but it's still, you know, a game that needs a lot of work still.
Fortnite isn't the only game to implement their very own Battle Royale mode. Not long ago, Rockstar announced they would be implementing a new mode into GTA Online called Motor Wars. Motor Wars was part of the biggest Smuggler's Run update, and like Battlegrounds, it is a last man standing Battle Royale mode. Motor Wars starts with players skydiving in from a cargo plane as they attempt to survive while looting better gear. But Motor Wars is a lot smaller in scale with only 28 players per match. However, it does feature outlandish vehicles equipped with weapons, which Battlegrounds doesn't have.
With the massive success of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds over the past few months, it's no surprise really that other developers are starting to make their own Battle Royale games. It wasn't that long ago where it seemed like every developer was set on making their own early access zombie survival crafting game after DayZ proved the genre has its appeal. After DayZ launched, there were dozens of survival games that followed suit, like Rust, H1Z1, 7 Days to Die, and Ark Survival Evolved, which actually has dinosaurs in it. Thank you very much. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has proven that the Battle Royale genre has a lot of money-making potential, and there is nothing more tempting to a AAA publisher than money-making potential. So this is obviously something that people are quick to point out. Battlegrounds wasn't the first Battle Royale game, was it? There was H1Z1 King of the Kill, which was like an offshoot type of thing, and that was a Battle Royale game. Culling as well.
Yeah, I played the Culling for a while. It died eventually, but again, essentially it was a Hunger Games kind of rip-off. It was
killed by Battlegrounds, I guess, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
It killed itself, that game. The developers did a shitty job of supporting that.
Right.
There was the Minecraft Hunger Games mode online. Loads of people experienced Battle Royale through that. And of course, Battlegrounds has become such a huge success in the 6 months since its release. Like we said in the voiceover, 10 million copies sold, which is incidentally as many copies as the Switch has sold retail versions of games, which tells you something. You know, it's selling like an absolute wildfire at the moment.
And it's still in early access, of course, so it's not even out yet, which is... what's that about? It's not even the finished product, and they're still adding stuff to it and adding maps and whatever that, okay, they're taking months and months and months to do that, and things like Fortnite is coming out before those maps are actually coming out. But still, it's a huge product, and I guess there's kind of a pressure on the team now that there's so many eyes on them that they're like, oh God, we've got to do this right this time. It's going to be interesting to see how long this goes on, you know what I mean? Like how they keep getting the sales and how high that concurrent player count is going to get.
Yeah, it recently knocked Dota off the Steam peak concurrent player top spot, I guess, which it held for like months and months and months. So it had been there for years, and PUBG comes along within a few months, just knocks it off, and it looks like it's taken off even further now, with China have adopted it in the last few weeks alone, and they've sold an extra couple of million copies because of that. And you know, if China get hold of it, you know, it's going to go through the absolute roof. And Brendan Green himself said that he wants to sell around 100 million copies. Obviously, he's got aspirations, and let's just see where it goes from there. PUBG information out now. That was your PUBG dump of the day.
Guys.
Wow.
I know, the wording on that.
PUBG dump of the day. News dump, not like a toilet dump. I mean, that's where your mind is, in the toilet as usual. I mean, I'm clean as a whistle, me. Nobody believes that, do they? So what do you reckon, does this new game mode make Fortnite more appealing for you to buy right now? Or are you just like most people, I guess, going to wait until next year when you can play it for free? Let us know down in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new around here. There's another video for you to watch on the screen around about there. Support us on Patreon if you're awesome, and we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.